Welcome back to another Black with No Cream podcast. New episode every single Wednesday and Sunday. I'm your host, Ben Haggerty, aka Ben Real First World. Now, normally on Sundays, we release one-on-one interviews with industry-leading creatives, but this quarantine shit is really fucking everything up. We want to respect the social distancing rules and stay away from each other. So for the time being, we present to you our new segment called Quarantine and Chill. Each episode, I call up a few of my creative homies to see how they're holding up during this lockdown and squeeze some creator tips and advice out of them to give back to all of you. All right, let's stop playing this fucking song so I can get a little serious and introduce today's guest. Darren, please drop that beat. Today we have the world-renowned DJ, musician, and record producer Holo, best known for his Dr. Dre remix for The Next Episode, which currently has over 218 million views on YouTube alone. I catch up with him at his home all the way over in the Netherlands to hear about his recent touring, coming to a halt due to the virus, how he's taking advantage of his downtime, and his belief behind the Stay Vibrant movement. Next, we have my boy Ev, the legendary AD behind some of the most iconic music videos ever made. He's worked with Drake, Chris Brown, Eminem, Usher, Taylor Swift, Kendrick Lamar, Nicki Minaj, etc., etc., etc. There's so many artists that this dude's worked with. We talk about the DGA, the Guild for Assistant Directors, and how he is working to become a part of that and what it can do for ADs all around. Ev also gives a behind-the-scenes look into the emotional Eminem music video Darkness, which reenacts the Las Vegas shooting. This video currently has 43 million views and was Eminem's way to help promote ending gun violence. Lastly, we have past podcast guest Louie Vito. In this episode, Louie lets us know how the snowboarding industry has been affected by the virus, how he is accomplishing personal goals while being forced to take a break from traveling, and he also shares about his partnership with Toyota and how they empower him to travel. Specifically, he gets into a wild-ass story about some fishing trips south of Mexico. A little bit off-brand for this podcast, but it's still fire. We hope you enjoy these conversations today. If you want to support the Black with No Cream podcast, just text a direct link to this episode to any homie of yours that you think would benefit from listening to this. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at Black with No Cream and subscribe to us on whatever podcast platform you choose to listen to this episode on today. We appreciate the love always. Before we get into this episode, if this is your first time tuning to the podcast, you are probably wondering,
what the fuck is Black with No Cream?
Great question. Black with No Cream is the illest educational resource for content creators fueled by caffeine. Or at least I take my coffee black with no cream, but you can drink or not drink whatever caffeine you fuck with and still be a part of our community. We have thousands of members from all around the world working together by sharing content, asking for feedback, passing tips and tricks along to one another with the goal of pushing each other to become the best motherfucking content creators on earth. And you can join our private group if you want to by going to bwnc.com/join. We would love to fucking have you. Please join. Holo, bro. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. Today I had a kind of a slow day. I feel kind of useless today, but overall I've been good.
Right. Where are you at right now? Are you in the States or no?
Right when Trump announced the travel ban between Europe and America, I flew right back home immediately because I didn't want to
get stuck.
Get stuck in America. Like my healthcare and my social system is just in Holland. So I just flew back home to my family just to be safe, just to be sure.
Right. No, that's good. I know it was kind of weird when it started to crack. Were you playing shows like during that time period? You were here, right?
Dude. Yeah. I just played a show. And I had like 2 days in LA of like sessions and production stuff. And then I was supposed to go to Vegas for a set in Vegas. But then the entire travel ban came up and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go home because I don't trust this at all.
Man, yeah, that would be the worst. Like, it could be months where we're just kind of on lockdown and if you had to do it in Vegas.
Yeah. I mean, now we're kind of used to the idea of like the lockdown and the quarantine and the social distancing. But back like a couple of weeks ago when you heard it was kind of scary, you were like, what's going to happen? And
right.
And it's still scary, it's uncertain. The uncertainty is definitely a killer for me.
Yeah. No, I know. Man.
I don't want to be able to plan stuff, but.
Right. And you, so this is fun to come off of you having a project, the Stay Vibrant project. And how have you found a way to stay vibrant during this, especially at the beginning? Like, I'm assuming you're home, are you near family and everything like that?
Yes.
That's good.
I travel most of the time I just travel. I'm never home really. So it's actually good to be in the same city with my mom and my brother and being able to say hi and be there for them. It's been good.
Right.
I miss the US though. I miss the US for sure.
So with the traveling, like for people who don't understand, how much time are you truly on the road, show wise, being in the studio? You're always bouncing around for collaborations. I'd imagine you hit the road pretty hard.
It's I think last year, in 2019, I was on the road about 8 to 9 months of the year.
Wow.
But it's sometimes you stay in LA for a couple of weeks and then you go to Atlanta for a couple of weeks and then you go to Austin for a couple of weeks. It's not like I've developed this thing where I'm able to feel at home if I'm just comfortable and in my own skin. I can feel at home in LA or in Holland or in Atlanta as long as I have good people around me and just am comfortable.
Right. Yeah. When you're traveling, who is it? Usually just you, or are you rolling with a team? Like how do you travel?
So when I do shows, I have like 6 to 7 people with me, like a camera guy, a tour manager, a lighting designer, someone who does my guitar stuff. And it's always a nice group of people. It's not like I'm alone on the road. There's people working on the project with me, obviously.
Yeah.
And it's like a second family. It's beautiful.
Right. So for you, I think this is an interesting topic. Like, I feel, obviously, having toured a ton, you understand the amount of things that go on behind the scenes that make a tour happen and bring it to life and allow you to be on stage and do what you do. How have you dealt with the repercussions of, you were traveling, you may have had those 6 people and you know what it's like to have production, to take care of the team? It's like, is there a weird, I don't know, weight on your shoulders to feel like, all right, how do I get through this to support the people that are normally with me on the road? They bank on that, Yeah.
So, I'm quite, I love these people, like the moment we can get back into like the studio and like the road, no, actually the moment we can get back into the live world, they're going to be back with me 24/7, it's been, to be honest, it's been weird because obviously everyone, like, they're on my team, but like they're also doing stuff outside of mine, but they also do other acts, sometimes that's it. My audio guy, for example, he also does other acts sometimes, but also they are not touring anymore, like no one is touring anymore. So, but obviously I'm going to be there for them and because no one wins if they go down in this crisis, like this. It's just going to be like, it's the hard thing is it's so uncertain. We don't know where it is going to go. We don't know how long it's going to take. Like, what do you think? Like, I feel like some people say end of the year. I don't believe that, actually. I think it's going to be next year or something.
Yeah. I mean, in LA, they're already talking about any major event not happening until 2021. And it's just crazy, man. Like last week we had my friend Jaquel on the podcast. He's Beyonce's choreographer, and he started creating the dancer relief fund because he knows they had like he was choreographing 3 different Coachella performances that were supposed to happen, which means he's booking hundreds of dancers who all just got laid off. And now they're thinking maybe Coachella leads to tours and tours leads to 5 months of pay for them. And it's just done, And it's crazy to see. Yeah, it's really crazy to see it, man. The touring world is so weird because, and right away I've seen a lot of people start, obviously, live. I don't know if you've messed around with live streaming, but you have been, your YouTube channel, you've been putting out content pretty frequently. Yeah.
So first of all, I want to say, like, I think it's super scary to think about what's going to happen, because I don't even think we can understand the impact of this entire thing. Like, how many people are going to lose their jobs. I think it's scary, and I think we're gonna be in some weird times.
Right.
Even after this is over, I want to be positive, of course, but I think about it a lot. I'm like, how is this gonna unravel. Is that a right way to say it?
Right. Yeah.
Unfold. But I'm just trying to stay productive. I'm just trying to. So like you said, I just started the Stay Vibrant thing. I've been talking about staying vibrant for like a year already. It's like a little thing that happened. It's basically about being positive and realistic optimism. It's okay to feel like shit sometimes. It's okay to feel great. Just the honesty that comes with it is very important to me. And being able to talk about it, I think it's very important we're able to talk about that sometimes you wake up and for some reason you just feel like shit. And sometimes that's just the way it is. And we all try to hide it and try to fake a smile, but that's not always necessary. It's I think it's very vibrant to be honest with people around you about how you're feeling. So one thing I did is I started releasing music every Monday for the people at home. And that's what I've been doing for about 5 weeks now. And it's just been it's also a way for me to stay productive and just focus on something, because if I can't focus on something creative, then I lose my mind, man. I just go crazy.
Right. No, I love that. And it keeps you kind of on par with deliveries, and people are expecting something, so it kind of pushes you to that, to make sure you're kind of coming correct.
Yeah, exactly. I think music has always kept me sane in a way, and I only just realized it now in this weird time, that how much music and having like deadlines and little goals, like a track, another track, a remix, how that just keeps me going.
Yeah, I love that. With the staying vibrant, right? Going into like kind of the meaning behind that. How have you dealt with, there's you can have a lot of friends and everything like that. And there's a lot of people that just, for some reason, I think move through life in a negative mentality. And how have you found, or how have you dealt, or what would you suggest to people who are dealing with people around them that kind of are always just pumping negativity into their life versus positivity? For instance, you just have someone that's always finding the bad in everything versus finding the good.
I used to be kind of like that, man. I used to be the half full glass. You know what I mean? But then I think something happened, and I don't want to get into it in too much detail, but I started to realize that nothing is for granted, and nothing is certain. This weird time shows that nothing is certain. You can have the biggest tour coming up, and within a second it can be over, which sounds very negative, but actually it's a reason to be positive about the little things. I mean, I could go for a walk right now, and normally I would just be like, oh, we're going for a walk, but now I really appreciate the little things out of everyday life, because you just gotta don't take those things for granted. Even the fact that you get up in the morning and are able to have a shower or have breakfast or whatever. I think that's all those little things. It's important to really appreciate those things, the little things.
No, I love that. Yeah,
because I feel like in the end, the little things is what really matters. I don't know. I can't really properly explain it right now. I can't find the right words. But the fact that, how do I say this? I think the most beautiful things in life are the things you can't put into words, because there's some magic around it that you just cannot describe. And I think staying vibrant is just about appreciating those things.
I love that, which makes sense why you're a musician. What I mean?
I guess so, yeah.
You're delivering your
exactly.
feelings,
Yes. That's what I make music, because I'm trying to vocalize vocalize the things that I can't really put into words. Even now, I'm doing a shit job of explaining this, but I'm trying to just put these things that I can't describe into something tangible, like music,
Right. No, of course. Is it, for you, how do you see music changing, the way music's released, especially right now? I guess maybe it's easier to look at it from like a stint of time assuming that we'll be back to normal at a period of time. But for right now, how do you see, obviously you're doing the weekly releases, you see different people doing live streams, taking advantage of that. How do you feel?
It's very complex because I've got some big projects finished that I would love to roll out right now, but I decide to not do that right now because it's also uncertain. So instead I'm filling this gap with stuff that I'm making on the fly without overthinking too much, just for the fun. I'm just having fun, you know? But it's definitely complicated because I know there's a lot of people that were planning on doing huge tours. Like you said, there's a lot of shows going to happen. And now that's all gone. And most of the times these tours are linked to music releases, you know? So I think everyone is kind of changing their plans. And I wonder, this is what I think about a lot. I wonder when we can go back into touring life and touring mode, how saturated it's going to be. Everyone's going to do shows. There's going to be a show every fucking hour. There's not going to be buses left for people to travel in. There's every artist is going to be consuming everything. I know I think that's what the craziest part of it all is. Part of consuming music, the live element, having bodies around you, movement, you know, that's so exciting. That makes it just adds another level to the song that you're listening to and enjoying, right? Like if you just scroll, it's crazy just because you scroll through artists' feeds who are particularly on tour often and traveling and whatnot. And now it's slowly it disappears in the feed as more relevant content from home and Zoom chats and things like those are the screenshots we're sharing. But if you go back, it was just chaos. You know what I mean? Like when you go back to your thing, it's sweaty, people being sweaty, going crazy. There's something about that that's so, I don't know how you replace that. You know what I mean? For the consumption portion of it. Well, people have been doing these live streams, you know, which is awesome. I think it's awesome. But still, it's not the same as the live experience. You know what I mean? Yeah, it isn't. The fact that I was talking about this with my friend actually the other day. The live streaming is fun, but there's something magical about being in the same room as everybody else and hearing the same sound from the same source. You know what I mean? It's a special energy, and you don't have that energy when you're at home in your own room. There's energy, but it's different kind of energy. And I miss that energy, man. I miss the live communal energy of a show, and the sounds and the lights, and it's great. But I also feel like I can't complain because there's so much bad stuff going on right now. So I feel like every time I'm like sad about, you know, not playing shows, not being able to do my thing, I'm thinking about everyone who's suffering from this, and I'm like, I should not talk. I should shut up, you know. But I mean, I think everyone feels it. We all obviously acknowledge this segment of the podcast is definitely, we've already acknowledged the fact that there's so much terrible shit happening and there's so many people that are suffering, and we feel for that. And then taking it a step farther, like what's the secondary thing we're dealing with? And look at it, man. It's like as soon as everyone in Italy is like quarantined to their house, you're seeing these videos of people like playing music and singing along with each other. Like the music part of it, like there somehow that will never die, no matter like what they constrain us to, what rules we have to follow. Like somehow music still seems to thrive in different places, no matter how. So it's just how it's being put out there. Man, it's crazy, bro. That's a reason why people, I mean, art is so important. It's like, I think a lot of people wouldn't know what to do without art. And I think these weird times prove that once again, because I know a lot of people, when I release those tracks from like Stay Vibrant every week, I know like I'm getting a lot of messages of people saying, man, this is really nice. This is a nice thing to hold on to, you know, in these weird times. And that, I love that, because I feel like then I'm kind of doing something, you know, add value to just to brighten someone's 3.5 minutes up. You know what I mean? Like, wow. Yeah, that's great. When you're, so let's go back to before this shit went down. When you're playing shows, you're playing at some festivals that will be in front of, I guess, what's the biggest crowd you've ever played in front of that you remember? I did some festival between, I think 10,000. Like, is that a lot? Yeah, 10,000. Yeah, that's
just seas of
a lot
people.
of people.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's crazy.
When you do those, what are some of the things you do to prepare right before you go on stage? I know everyone has a different ritual, but I'd be curious to hear what yours is.
For me, it's I play guitar and sing and DJ on stage. It's a very hybrid set of all kinds of things, but I really need to warm up. I need to, like, an hour before the show, I have to, like, do my warm-ups and vocal warm-ups, and also the stretches, and just to get my blood flowing. And I listen to my favorite music, and I listen, get into the mood, get into the right mindset with my crew, and then we just go for it, man. I feel like for some reason, the bigger crowds are less scary to me. I think playing a song for 3 people is so much scarier than playing a song for 1,000 people.
Right.
You know what when there's like 5,000 people in the crowd, the energy is just different, and it's more like you can't really see everyone's face. You just see one mass of people, and you're trying to just, like, control and vibe on that mass of people, which is awesome. And when I see videos, when I look back, like before the isolation days, I'm like, wow, this was normal. This was everyday life. But now when I see that shit, it's almost kind of scary. You're like,
right.
You're thinking about the virus, and you're like, whoa, we did this shit?
We'd bring everyone that close to each other in such a small space.
Like,
it's
even
unreal.
that we took for granted, you know?
We did.
It's just the most normal thing, like the show. Put everyone together, sweaty, half naked, you know?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
No, that's true, man. I don't want to take up too much of your time. This is a kind of question I've been asking people, just so anyone that's listening at home. What have you been doing outside of music that you've been killing time with or found valuable in your life that you could offer some other people? And where are you? Are you in the Netherlands?
I'm in the Netherlands right now.
Okay, cool. Got it. Right. But yeah, is there anything you could, suggest to people to take advantage of?
This is a very good question, man. And I'm going to be very honest with you. I think today, I've been feeling kind of down today, and I feel useless. And I think today is the first day I've realized, hey, maybe I should try to do something outside of music, just to, maybe to explore myself a little bit, because every day of my life has been about music, about either making songs or touring or traveling for a show, doing interviews. And I feel like maybe today was the first I realized, hey, maybe this is a good time to explore something else, and I'm still trying to figure out what that is, but I also don't really have hobbies outside of music. It's really my life. I think about music all the time, and I get the most fun out of music.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I guess it's also good to find something that you can just clear your mind with sometimes. I like going for walks. I do like going for walks. That's what I do.
Is the Netherlands pretty? Are you allowed to be able to walk? Is it just social distancing type vibes, or have you guys have like a stuff?
No, you're allowed to go out and go for a walk, but only with someone maximum 2 people or 3 people. You can't go sit outside with the group of people. It's
right.
The only thing you can do is like go for a run, and then you got to return home.
Sure.
Or go to the shops. The bars are closed. The no events. They just announced no events till September.
Wow.
And I'm not surprised if they're gonna make that even longer. I don't know.
Yeah.
No one knows, man.
No one knows, man. It's nuts. It is nuts.
Yeah.
Well, dude, I appreciate your time, and I mean, congrats on everything that you've made all the way up to this point. It sounds like there's gonna be some genius that comes out of being stuck in your crib. We're excited to hear what you put out.
Thank you for this. Great questions. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. All right, we'll talk soon.
Talk to you soon, man.
Yo, shout out to Holo for coming on the podcast. We appreciate you, bro. Thank you so much, and stay safe. I'll have links to all of your information in the descriptions below. Next up, we got my boy Ev. Let's hop into that right now. Ev,
What's
one
up?
of the illest directors, ADs I ever met in my whole life. What's good?
How you doing, my brother? Thanks for having me, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for joining us. I'm good. I'm on cup number 2 of coffee, starting to get that like cracky feeling? It's it's that part of the day.
I'm a tea guy.
Yeah, I'm not. What's your go-to tea?
It's ginger and turmeric.
Okay, word. That's some Zen shit.
Yeah, but it's mixed. I have some peppermint tea in there, just some turmeric, some extra turmeric powder in there, some lemon, some honey. It's pretty good for you.
Yeah, I need to get into tea, man. How have you been? How's this shit been for you? I mean, like, for a person who lives their life on set 12 hours at a time plus.
It's been weird, bro.
Yeah?
It's been weird, man. Like, it's weird. And there's no end in sight right now. As we speak right now, there's no end in sight.
Have you had... All right, so in LA, obviously... You're in LA right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, right. So they shut it down. We can't... First, it was like groups of 50 people, and then in like a day's time, it turned into groups of 10 people, and then it turned down to like stay inside, right? So that order happened. Through that process, did you see... Obviously, I'm sure you had a bunch of jobs cancel, and then were you seeing people still trying to pull off productions?
Yeah, because the last job I did, we went all the way because New York had already shut down.
Right.
And then I think the conversation about LA was happening, and we were shooting this video. I can't say her name because the video's not out yet. Mm-hmm. And we were doing a video for her, and everybody was wearing masks. Everybody was wearing gloves. It was mandatory. Like our safety meetings had to be weird. I had to, there was a laundry list of things that I had to cover because of that, because there were precautions that we started to implement on set when we first started to hear about it. So part of the safety meetings that I had to do in the morning was talking to people about making sure they have gloves on, and when they're talking to each other, have a mask on, and make sure there's and we started to practice social distancing on that job.
That's crazy. On
that job, it was weird watching camera department have to work.
Yeah, how the fuck is it? It's impossible, bro. It's literally impossible.
Pretty much.
And that's the main issue, is that when it becomes impossible and you get to that point where you're still trying to do it, and that's why they had to force it. But it's like, you could see it become something where you're like, it's not going to happen to me. Fuck it. Let's just be around each other. You help hold my leg while I do this or whatever. And then you're within that 6 feet range or whatever. And it's impossible.
Because we're everyone in this industry are people person, right? Like we this is what we're always around each other. We crave that. Yeah. Like what we do requires us to be in close quarters with people. Yeah. So I'm not sure how.
Yeah, especially even like you, like as an AD, you're running over and you're trying to hype up whatever's happening, and then you're running over to the director and the team and whatever, and you're on their shoulder looking over the monitor. Everyone's fucking tight to this like 16-inch monitor, and you're trying to see. And everyone's breathing on each other and fucking, you know what I mean? Like so did you find after that job ended, have people still tried to run operations since then from you? Like have you been requested to work even during this shit?
No, actually, you haven't. No, not in the larger scale that I'm used to. Right. But of course you'll have like your smaller independent artists who want to like, hey man, it's just gonna be me and you. It's just gonna be me, you, and maybe in the camera, me and you and a girl. Like that kind of stuff going on. Yeah. But other than like the bigger names and the productions that I'm used to, everybody's like, oh hell no.
Yeah, they don't want to there's too many lawsuits for that type of shit.
Yeah, it's too much of a risk. It's too much of a liability. Man, workers. How you gonna cover that?
No, you can't. You can't. So it's for you. Have you been touching the smaller jobs, or are you just saying, fuck this shit, quarantine everybody? It's not worth a goddamn dollar, bro.
Fuck that. I fuck that. I'd rather jump on unemployment, find other creative means, other avenues.
That's a great shift. What have you been doing? This is what's interesting. It's in that time period where we don't know what the fuck's up and when it may end. So we're kind of in limbo where everyone's treating shit like it's a snow day, and you're just kind of like, well, I'll just get a little fatter and not work out and fucking chill. Have you been doing anything different to try to pivot?
So yeah, I am in the process of producing a couple of lyric videos.
There you go.
Weird as it sounds. So I'm doing a lot of that. doing a lot of reading, doing a lot of writing, and I'm actually taking care of my DGA book, which a lot of producers have been on my ass for years to do. So that way I could join the Directors Guild of America Union. So I could start doing more commercials and movies and all the big production houses kind of stuff. So
So for people who don't know, could you weigh in on say a lot of the listeners usually are like pretty one-man band just getting into the industry. Could you explain a little bit more on the guild and like how that process would change your career, I guess?
Okay, so basically as an assistant director, there's the DGA, the guild. So in order to get into the guild, depending on which direction you want to go into, whether you want to go in as a second AD, whether you want to go in as a first AD, there's a certain amount of days that you have to show and prove that you've been on set, you've worked. So and with that said, you have to the way you show the proof is you make this book, this binder, where you have your pay stub, your call sheet, and what they call a cover letter for that job, which tells you the name of the producer, the date, and how many days you worked. You have to collect a certain amount of days for that. So as a matter of fact, give me 5 seconds. I will show you a book. What you are seeing right now is a book in process, right?
Right.
This is a DGA book in process. This is years 2018, 19, and what was left of 2020. All right. So it's still a work in progress. So what this is, as you can see, can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
So this is the call sheet, and in back of it, you staple the pay stub.
Right.
And then on top of that, you'll put the cover letter. So as a first AD, I have to show, I believe, 520 days of work that I can prove that they will approve in order to join the guild.
Do they count OT? Like if you go into overtime, are you able to clock that in or no? It's just one day. That's bullshit. Because you'd be doing 2 days. You can do 2 days in one shoot, but you fucking are getting hosed into a 12-hour, 8-hour day. What?
Dude, can you imagine?
Yeah, you'd be done already. You'd be done.
Yeah, it's a wrap. I have it. To be honest with you, I have those days now.
You do.
I hands down, I have them. It's just what's tedious about it is putting the book together. Mm-hmm. That's the tedious part.
Right. Because as you're doing jobs, are you downloading all the information that you need from each job as it goes? Or are you just like, all right, it's time to work on my book and I have to think about who I need to hit up to get the information? Or is it all an email from each job so you can just kind of like go back and do?
A little bit of both, because there are some times where I forget to do that. But yes, I have a binder that I actually collect all my call sheets. And then I have a drawer in my shelf that I put all the pay stubs from each job. So what I do is what I used to do when I wasn't so busy was every month I would start to put them together. Right. But as I got more, quote unquote, for lack of a better word, more popular with producers and directors, I started getting popular jobs. So I had less time. Right. To do it myself. Yeah. So now that we have this time, great opportunity to do it.
Yeah. So when you do make, all right, so you put your book together, when you submit it, right? They are now taking a look at all your information, seeing if you hit, is it literally just, I've done 500 days and here's all the documentation and they're like, boom, cool, you're approved? Or is it a vetting process?
There's vetting process. There's references. There's, because it's like a brotherhood. There's folks have to vouch for you. Right. You know what I mean? So you'll get your reference letters from producers and from other ADs that are already in the guild that will vouch for you to get in there. So it's not just like, hey, here I am.
Right. So then that ultimately sets you up, right? From doing maybe like if I'm not part of that and I'm directing a video and I want you to AD, I'm just getting you to come on some random job that's got some random budget, but that separates you to be able to work on like almost to kind of respect your pay, right? Too. Correct. And that's going to lock you into respect your pay. What other perks for being in the guild?
Insurance.
And they're giving you insurance? Is it? Is that what it is? I didn't know that. I don't know much about the guild. I just don't pay attention to that shit.
Dude, grade A insurance, bro. Oh my God. Grade A insurance. Grade A insurance.
And what? It's just as long as you're continuing to work?
As long as you continue to work, you're collecting your pension and yeah, you're getting your insurance, yes.
Wow. So it's dope, man. That's good.
So
Yeah, now's the time, bro. Get your insurance while you fucking out here.
this whole time I've been paying it myself.
I know, me too. That shit's
You know what I
crazy.
mean? It's expensive, bro.
It's very expensive.
Why not get the help? And make some money while you're at it.
Yeah, no, that's super smart. Yeah, that's dope. Cool. So, all right, so let's talk about this shit.
Oh boy.
From you being able to spend some, like, out of the year, how much would you say you spend your time directing, and how much of the time are you assistant directing?
Oh, I'm an assistant directing more than I am ADing, only because as a director, I'm just kind of like starting out.
Right.
But as an assistant director, I've been assistant directing for years, maybe since 2005, 6.
Right.
So I would say I'll probably spend 70% ADing, 30% directing.
Right. And so with this time too, are you spending some time kind of calculating future moves for projects, or when you say writing or reading, are you coming up with new treatments and shit like that?
Yeah, so we're writing treatments, reaching out to labels, managers, artists, who's working or who's also taking this time to work on music and different stuff. So I'm doing phone calls, Zoom calls, conferences, text messages, emails with all those different entities.
Right.
That way, when they do let us out for playtime, it's there.
Yeah,
but,
it's go time.
But the tricky thing about that though is, and I was having this conversation with some friends of mine a couple of days ago. Is the tricky thing about that is we're not sure quite yet what the limitations are going to be as far as the rules on set.
Right.
Because think about it now, the way you used to film crowd shots is gonna have to change.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if this keeps going, how are you gonna do a club scene?
VFX.
It
sucks.
It's
that
gonna be
fucking
tough.
sucks.
And what does a lot of hip hop videos do?
Have crowd shots, have club shots, doing bottle service and shit.
Doing bottle service shit, you know what I mean? Club, like, what are you gonna do? It's gonna be tough. So the creative is gonna change a little bit.
Well, even when you go a step farther, it's movie sets, bro. You got hundreds and hundreds of people. You have touring artists with hundreds of people. I mean, our B&J tour was like, I think we had like 400, 500 people with us on that tour that we were moving around the world with, you know what I mean? Just billion stages, making the cables hook up to the other shit and make the music play or whatever. Like,
dude, how you gonna do a love scene?
Yeah. Damn. What's gonna happen to the porn industry? Oh shit,
dude.
No, it's over with. It's over with, bro.
Yo, speaking of porn industry, dog.
Yeah, speaking of, let's talk about it.
Was that the last video? Actually, was that the last?
Was that the last thing you did? Was a porno?
No, it wasn't a porno, but it was for Pornhub. Pornhub. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
it was
the Tory Lanez thing.
Yeah.
G-Eazy, Tory Lanez, and someone else.
Tory Lanez, Tyga.
They were the first one to do a music video on Pornhub, I think. That's crazy. You did it?
Yeah, I was. Daniel did it. I AD for Daniel.
Fire. That's crazy. Yeah, that's
that was one of those right before the coronavirus. So
yeah, they need mad people on each other.
Mask and gloves everywhere, and we had porn stars on set. So it's like, stay away from me. Don't touch me.
Right.
But it was weird.
Damn, that's insane. Yeah, dude, this shit shifts a lot.
It was weird.
All right, speaking of jobs that you've been doing. Who out of, from an artist standpoint, from music video standpoint, who would you say you prefer working with, you really thoroughly enjoy working with from an artist standpoint? What are some of your top artists that you like to work with?
I mean, hands down, I'm biased, bro. I'm a bit biased. I gotta go to TDE, like, hands down. Like, that's family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they're the easiest to work with just because we have that relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But outside of that, Drake is cool.
I was just watching right before this Ninja. There's this gamer named Ninja who streams and shit, and he's just fucking super famous. And there's like series of videos where him and Drake are playing Fortnite together, and Drake's all about Fortnite, and it's like the most interesting thing just to watch them play fucking video games. Yeah, Drake is fire.
They make money.
Yeah, I know. Dumb money. Yeah. Everything we're doing is a mistake.
But yeah. Outside of TDE, yeah, Drake is pretty cool. I'm sure there's a couple artists that I'm forgetting about.
I like the Eminem stuff that you do, bro.
Oh, see, there you go. There's another one. Is like that's family right there.
The video you guys did in Vegas, well, or whatever. I don't know if you shot it in Vegas, but it looked.
Oh no, this one was we actually shot in Detroit.
It was in Detroit.
It was in Detroit, but it was about the Vegas concert.
The Vegas shooting, right? Yeah. So that shit was wild. Was that weird? Was that weird putting that video together? Like,
it was intense. It was intense. The actor we got for that, actually directed by James Larice, by the way, OSGB family.
Yeah, shout out.
But yeah, the actor, he's a method actor actually from Broadway. So the entire time I had to keep him in isolation, really, because we needed him to stay in character the entire time. Because if you really know the history behind that guy, he was meant, he was
lunatic. Bro.
So we had to keep him in that state. So what we would do is during our safety meeting, I made sure I told the crew, don't talk, if you see him walking around the hallways, don't talk to him. Leave him be. No laughing, no joking, because we always want him to be in that intense mindset the entire time. So for 2 days, nobody spoke to him.
Damn, that's crazy. That's that's a super weird dynamic. But he killed it because
he killed it.
That's got to be a weird role to play too. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's so relevant. You know, it just happened. Like that wasn't that long ago.
He took it there.
That's nuts.
And it was heavy. It was a heavy piece. It was a tough one.
But his team, the whole point of the video was to create awareness for gun violence? Gun violence, yeah. So was it to push people to like a gun violence, anti-gun violence?
It was like a call to arms kind of thing. Yeah. To get people aware, to make people more, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? They wanted to bring more attention to the fact of all these people dying from gun violence, from meaningless gun violence, and that was something that's very important to him. You know what I mean? So so him and James, the director, went back and forth for a while about what to do for that song, for that video, and that was actually that was M's request for it to be that way. But it was a mind fuck.
Yeah, I believe it because it's just so deep and real, and you're literally recreating that shit.
Yeah, the amount of guns we have. I mean, just the gun safety on that set alone. But that was the most amount of weapons I've ever had to deal with on set.
Really?
Yeah, we had like 30 fucking.
Yeah, that's a shit ton of weapons. Yeah, because dude. Because you recreated the scene where they come into the room, the police come into the room, so you got SWAT coming in with their guns.
I think he had like a total of 27 guns in that room.
The real situation.
Yeah, the real situation. So we try to match as much as possible.
Damn, that's
what
crazy.
was going on there. Yeah, like we have to art direct the room to match it as much as possible. Yeah, but there's a lot of homework, a lot of YouTube and Googling had to be done.
Right. Of course. For you, I mean, what for anyone out there that's interested in getting to assistant directing, what advice could you get them if they're just starting out, if they're starting to climb that ladder, they want to do some research on how to become the best person for that job? What advice could you give to?
Well, for everyone is different, and they have to know what they want to do within the production world. I would say first know what you want to do, what your end game is, right? Because there's always, I think ADing, assistant directing, is a stepping stone to either producing or directing yourself. You know what I mean? So first you have to know which direction you want to go into. Right. Then the way I started, I was a PA. My very first job was a video that was shelved the very first time, and all I did was wrangle cable all night long behind the dolly, and I built a name. You get to know your producers, get to know your production managers, get to know your production coordinators, get to know the office PAs, because those are the people that are doing the hiring.
Right.
Once they start hiring you, then you start telling them like, hey, this is the direction that I want to go. Yeah. Hey, I want to go into the camera department. I want to be a director. I want to be a producer. Then you start having those conversations while you're on set. Then from there, you find yourself a mentor. You know, find yourself a mentor in the department that you want to go into and latch on to that.
Right.
First.
Yeah.
Right. And then just keep building that on.
I love that. Shit, this one happened quick. We could talk for days, but here's the reality is that you need to come get on the goddamn podcast when our social distancing order is all donezo.
Oh, I'm down, brother. I'm always down.
Pretty please. Before we wrap it up, two things. One, let's just mark this one on record because you got into, from my entire tour with Beyonce and Jay-Z, out of all the shows we ever did, right? We did a fucking gang of them. I got you into the illest one.
Yes.
The illest one. Paris.
Let me tell you.
World Cup.
Hold on.
He's doing the prayer hands if you're not watching this on video. Bro, for real though, that was the best show you could have ever have hit. And so random that you were there when I was there. Why were you there?
Listen, so the way, let me tell you, first I want to tell your listeners, everybody, this man came through for me so ill. It will go down in history as one of the best times and bucket list times ever in life. Dog.
That's fire.
All right. No, I'm not bullshit.
No,
that's how ill it was.
I'm glad. I'm fucking glad.
So me and my girlfriend at the time, we're in Paris for Afropunk.
Okay, word.
Right, because SZA was performing.
Right.
So we out there, see her. But when it was all right. And then I started posting, and then you noticed that I was in Paris.
Okay, word.
Yeah, he's like, hey, yo, no matter of fact, no, I hit you. And be like, yo, I'm here in Paris.
Right.
I saw that you guys were out here, and then you hit me right back, like, yo, blah, 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 what's up? And then I'm like, oh shit, he answered. I was excited that you fucking answered.
Right.
Because I know how busy that should be over there. And then, one thing led to another. Next thing I know, I was like,
the VIP tickets. He was in the fucking illest spot that you could ever get into that shit. I'm so glad that worked out because that's difficult to pull off.
We got an escort to our seats.
That's right.
You know
that's
what I mean?
That's how we fucking roll out here, bud. That's how we be rolling out here. That shit was tight, right? And it was a World Cup finals that France won. That we opened up the stadium early for people to come in and fucking watch the show on the big screens, which I think got were the biggest screens of that tour. Or something.
I'm sure I'm probably not the first or the last person to do this, but you deserve a life, bro.
Spark it up.
For real, bro. Oh man,
that shit was so fun, man. I'm glad you got to come. Anyway, we'll talk more about that later. But so to end this shit, what's one thing that you could give to people advice wise, things that they should take advantage of during this downtime to kind of up their craft, especially when it comes to directing, AD, writing? Obviously, you've told us a couple examples, but you have anything else?
What I would say is definitely find your passion. This is the time to find your passion. You have nothing else to do but find your passion. Whatever that is, read on it, pray on it, write on it, reach out to people that are already involved in it, seek mentorship from them, because they are doing nothing right now, just like you.
Right.
Right. So everyone is seeking, looking for something, searching for something to do, something to creative to sink their teeth in. Let that be you. Right. Right. So that's my advice. Find your passion at this time that we have and fucking just go for it, bro. Ask questions. Don't be shy, because ain't nobody going to give you shit if you don't ask for it. A closed mouth don't get fed. Straight up.
I love that. Damn. All right. Couldn't say anything better than myself, friend. I'm going to also end on saying that I remember the first time, I think the first project I got to be on set with you with was when we did Mary J. Blige's doc, maybe, or Strength of a Woman. We shot some shit downtown, and I think afterwards, no, it was like we at the warehouse, but then we went to that spot that's under the bridge where the fucking oval top part is, where you could like shoot down. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. That shit's gone now.
Is it gone?
It's gone now.
Oh, well, shit. But we were filming there, and I remember we shot all day long, and then you smoking right now made me just remember this memory. But after set, we got done, I was all whooped, and you just sat on top of the hood of the car and just fucking lit up a spliff and just started smoking weed. And I was like, and I just moved out to LA, I think. I was like, man, this is tight. just LA is tight that we could just be downtown, you casually smoking weed. We just shot an ill-ass music video for a legendary artist. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm really in this shit right now.
I'm telling you, bro. Like, you know what the weird? I have these moments frequently. You know what I mean? These moments where, you know, after we finish filming something, because, you know, my background is different. I'm not from a film background. You know what I mean? So like being around all these different talent, all these creators, and doing this work that we do, I have those moments frequently on set, and after we wrap. That's usually why you find me sitting in my car or outside,
right?
Like, just taking it all in.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's incredible.
Like, for instance, today, an AD that I used to work for put a post up about a job that I totally forgot about because this is the 4th anniversary of Prince's death.
Right.
Like, we did a short film with him.
Damn.
With Prince, and I totally forgot about it. You know what I mean? Like, it's you'd be amazed and in awe of the people and talent that you get to work with. Sometimes you just gotta just take it all in, you know? I
know. I agree with that. All right, bro. I appreciate you. Stay safe and all that. We're gonna put links to your Instagram in the description below.
Right. Make sure you tune in tomorrow though.
Well, oh yeah. Well, shit, this will come out too late. But you are doing the battles right now. So are you gonna keep doing those? Too. All right, there's more. So make sure to follow his Instagram because he's hosting these incredible director battles on his Instagram Live. So check that shit out right now.
Yeah,
all right, cool.
For real.
All right, later, player. Love you to death, Def. Thank you for coming on the show. I'll put links to his Instagram below so you can check out his work. And also, make sure to tune in for whenever he does these directors battles because he's getting some insane music video directors to go head to head, sharing some of their best work. That's going to be super exciting. All right, let's get to the final one of the day is my boy Louie Vito. All right, let's start it. Louie Vito. What's up, fool?
Dude, I love that thing. The horn, more horn.
More horns? I can do horns all day, man. We got all kinds of sounds on that fucking thing. How you been?
I've been good, man. Just try not to, actually really just try not to bored eat too much. Cause like when I get bored, I'm like, man, I'm hungry. And what can I eat? And I just stare in my fridge. So I'm trying to like keep healthy food in there. And then also just like try to stay active as much as I can.
Yeah, I hear that. I don't think it really matters for you if you bored eat as long as you're pulling tundra trucks outside. That clip was
I got a couple more videos to post, but
that's the most. Did you see my comment?
Which one was it?
I said, why didn't you pan over and show me pushing it from behind?
Oh, yeah. I was laughing on that one. I haven't gone through the comments yet. I got to go do that today. I did some on Facebook, but I got another one with my girlfriend's here, and I have one of her sitting on top of the truck, so you don't see anything. And then I'm like pulling the truck, and it come into frame, and then the truck is, and she's just sitting there, like just laying on the top of my truck. I'm like, so when your girlfriend says, "Let's go work out."
Right, dude. He's literally, if you haven't, go to his Instagram and check out the video, but he's literally pulling this truck with a rope and just hauling it across the parking lot because he's a swole boy. Because that's what's happening there.
I had one where I'm pushing it, and some kids were like, "Oh, you can see the wheels moving." I'm like, okay, like I have a video. You want me to show you a video where it's not 1000% stop? Like, man, you guys just really nitpicking here.
Yeah, right. People really don't want you to win. It's like, yo, I'm literally doing this shit. That's crazy. Yo, how is this whole quarantine thing affected snowboarding? Like for you and all the activities? Because you are a traveling man. You be bouncing all over the place. I'm interested to hear.
It sucks.
It does.
Dude, I've had so many things canceled. Like, first off, all the mountains are closed. So that's obviously like a big thing. The next is like, you know, Mount Hood will be the next place. Like, so all the camps got canceled in the spring because springtime's like learning new tricks and kind of all that. And then Mount Hood will be like the summertime. So we're kind of waiting to see what's happening with Mount Hood because they have all the summer camps, like big for ski racing. And there's some snowboard camps. High Cascade Windells have a snowboard camp. And then after that, it's going to Europe. And at this rate, I mean, I don't know. People are talking about maybe not even being able to really get to Europe much this summer at all, even if the mountains do open. So that's kind of like everyone's just sort of waiting. I'm supposed to do something out at Mount Hood, and they're like, "Yo, when are you thinking about coming out?" I'm like, "Well, when are we going to open? Like, if it's going to open, I'll just book a ticket the next day." I'm always quick on the trigger. Like, let's just go.
Right.
But now it's like I'm sitting here, and it's funny because it's kind of nice because I'm getting so much stuff done at my house that like, oh, I have a guy that can come put a new roof on my house. Okay, perfect. I'm like, oh, 2 weeks? Perfect. I'll be here. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, right.
Ooh, I'm here for 3 days. I'm gone. I'm here. I'm gone. But the other side is like, it kind of sucks because I'm here. I'm just like, oh yeah, I need to do this and this. And it's just like, writing the check.
Just seeing all your money go away. Hey, now's the time to take some lessons on roofing, bro, and just getting up there and doing it yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the funny thing is with my girlfriend being here, she's all about like, let's do this. Let's paint this room. Let's do this. Let's do this. I got my guest bathroom finally remodeled because my friend who I ride with that snowbird, he does it too on the side. So I finally got him because he can't ride. So he's like down just to make some money. So, but that was good because, for me, it's like run to the store, get this tile, he homie rated it heavy. So he was doing the work, but like, all right, go get this rather than like, I think this one, go pick this up, go do this. Right. I can go help out as much as I can. But I'm just not like, I have too bad of ADHD and like, then you got to like measure, make sure you're cutting 1 1/8 and then you got to make sure it's level. It's just like, I'm not tedious enough for that stuff. Yeah,
right. That's funny. We were just in, I think like right as this shit started, we were in Alaska and it was the funniest shit ever because I FaceTimed you to teach my brother how to do a proper 360 because he really wanted to master it. And I was like, it was funny before I called you because he's like, hold on, I'm going to text my friend Kyle. And he starts texting our homie Kyle from Iowa who can do it too. And I'm like, all right. He's like, I'm like, all right, you call your lifeline. I'm going to call mine. And I called you. He's like, who you calling? And I was like, Louie. He's like, oh, fuck. I follow him on Instagram and his girlfriend, she golfs. I follow both of them. They golf because my brother's obsessed with golf. And he was like, oh, shit. And then he was just trying to act all cool. And you're like, just text me a video. I'll teach him. He did that. Dude, he was sitting there just like rewatching and trying to study your notes the whole time. He eventually got it. It was nice. It was a good little virtual lesson. So shout out to you for that.
Yeah, that's sick. I just wish I was out. Last time you were in Colorado, I got to come hang with all you guys. So hopefully once all this thing goes away, I can come ride with you guys again. Cause that's always fun. And it's fun. Like I get so into it. Like for him to like learn a 360 would be so like you that feeling you get when you learn a new trick. So even when you see somebody else do it, you're like, hell yeah, dude, that's what's up. You get so jacked.
Yeah, I know. It's like the illest part about skate videos to me is like, or snowboarding videos is like when someone's landing something that for a fact they've been sitting there doing it over and over and over again all day long, and they finally get it, and all the homies come running over, just like like
yeah.
That was my favorite part about the skate part. So let me ask you this: are people in the snowboarding industry taking the time right now to train in some form outside? Like obviously, I'm assuming the gym. But are they trying to train? Is there ways to train without access to, resorts?
Yes and no. I see, there's some people who might like split board up the mountain, but even there is like pretty strict on in certain areas, like resorts maybe not let you go up the mountain. You might have to go in the backcountry. But then I saw this photographer that I've done some stuff with over at Snowbird, and he was saying like last week or something, I think there was like he said there was like 31 human triggered avalanches like over the weekend or something crazy like that. Just because like you get some people that don't really know. They're like, oh cool, we got snow up there. We're just going to go like send it. And it's like, well, it's still pretty dangerous. Just because the mountain's not open doesn't mean like avalanche danger's closed too.
Yeah.
But I'm sure like, I know some people, like some of my close friends, they're just working out and kind of treating it like almost like the off season, like summertime where you can go ride, or maybe you're taking like a month off, but everyone's kind of in limbo, there's not like really one mountain that's open where it's like, oh, they got a half pipe there, or they got jumps set up there. You see some people like kind of dicking around, maybe if they live up in the mountains in Europe or wherever, that might be building stuff. But for the most part, everyone's kind of just chilling, letting their body chill, maybe doing some workouts and just hanging.
Right. Yeah. I feel like there's not like it's not terrible that a lot of people could kind of slow it down towards the end of the season and like get stronger for next season. You know what I mean? Assuming that it's going to cut back. It's like you have the opportunity to, at the end of the year, like you said, people are learning new tricks and things like that. You're prone to getting hurt. I don't know if that's pussy shit.
I think it's the one thing that's kind of trippy is it's like, it's for everybody. It's not like, oh, the US, we're locked down. Like, everybody in Europe or wherever they live in the world, like, they're out there riding and they're like training, and we just can't even get to Europe and we're screwed. It's like nobody can ride right now, like in the entire world. Like that's crazy.
Right. That is crazy, bro. Damn, that's nuts. So with you, Do you still have the thing you do with Toyota?
Yeah, I mean, I do a bunch of stuff with Toyota, between Toyota and Toyota Olympics. So I was supposed to go to Hokkaido in June and run with the torch for like this before the Olympics started. Then I was going to Tokyo with Toyota and doing a bunch of content during the Olympics. So both those things got canceled. So that sucks. But yeah, I do a bunch of stuff with Toyota, and it's awesome. Like they're the best. They've been sending like little care packages during this whole quarantine thing, which is cool.
Dope.
And
like what? Like little like floor mats?
I got like a little gift card to like Amazon or Postmates, and then I got like a little fruit basket, and then they might, they send us a puzzle with like all of Team Toyota athletes' pictures on it, and like cool. Just like little cool things like that. But like the Amazon gift card, like maybe go get like something to help you train or get ready for, during the off season, just like trying to be involved. Because with the Olympics, what's crazy is when I was talking to them just about the summer athletes, is like swimmers, for instance, like they couldn't go to a pool really and go train, or like certain sports, they just couldn't train, period. It wasn't like, oh, we don't know if we can have the Olympics. It's like, we can't train. So then they're like kind of trying to figure out how can they help their athletes. Like they're a really involved company. It's not like they just write the check and go do your thing. Like they're very involved. So it's like, okay, do we need to help build these home gyms for our athletes to train for the Olympics? This is all before they canceled or postponed it. But I mean, it's great to work with a brand that's just so like hands-on with the athletes that they support. When they say, we want you to be part of Team Toyota, like you're really part of Team Toyota.
Yeah, that's crazy. I was going to ask if that, obviously for that, partnership, you're kind of put to the task of traveling quite a bit. So it's like, if that's out the boat, what else are they trying to find ways to pivot that? Obviously taking care of you guys, but I didn't know if like, was you pushing the truck part of your thing with them? It was just you being funny.
I mean, they like, obviously they're going to be stoked. They might be like, ooh, I don't know if our whatever office is going to be, human resource office or whatever, is going to be, super stoked on, trying to get people to like push their truck with a small ass chain, because it literally was like the bare minimum. I realized when I went to Home Depot, I'm like, how much, I'm like with Haley, I'm like, how much chain do you think I need to get? Cause I want to loop it. And I was like, I don't know, 8 feet. Yeah, that sounds good. And then I got there. I'm like, yeah, this is like the bare minimum, kind of close to the truck. Cause it, if once you kind of stop, like it's going to keep rolling.
Oh,
so
like
it's like you got to like drop the chains and run.
Right.
But no, that was just for me. And it was cool because I remember, I think my dad was a big wrestler and like coached wrestling and all this stuff too. And I think he had an athlete back in the day that used to like push his truck in the fields, or like some, farm kid. And I've always had that in my head. So I tried it like last summer, I think it was. And the guy who filmed it, I didn't really like the way it was filmed. It was just like an amateur dude. So this one I was like, whatever. It's just going to be for Instagram.
Right.
So Haley filmed it all for me. But that's just for me. Like, I mean, yeah, they're stoked to have me posting and talking about Toyota, but it's not like, yo, you need to do a Toyota post of like showing off your car. They're just like, and I find different ways. Well, my deal's so weird because it's for snowboarding, but I try to do everything. Like I was supposed to go to Hilton Head for this kind of meeting that they're having, and I'll go do like a Q&A or talk or whatever. So I like try to do anything they want me to do, I'm down for, because they're a great brand. So anything I can do to stoke them out, I'm good for. But like, they sponsor anglers. So like Gerald Swindle's a good friend of mine, and he's one of their bass anglers. And he's like, I mean, he's like talking smack to me all the time on social media, but he's like awesome. He's just a bass fisherman from Alabama, but like, yo, I want to do a trip with him. And then I want to go do a trip. I did a thing with this guy, Antron, who's like their drag racer. And it's like, they sponsor so many different athletes. How can I do different things with everybody? Cause it's like learning, right? Like, I've never been to a drag race before. Okay. I go with one of the best, and Antron takes me, and I'm standing like, 20 yards from the behind of the drag race car. And it's like, when it goes, you like feel it. They're like telling you to hold on to your phone tight, cause it'll blow it out of your hand. So much power.
Right.
I did drove a pace car at NASCAR with that for Toyota. It's like, just try to do all this different random stuff, because at the end of the day, it's like, I don't know when I'm ever going to go to a drag race, or at least have that access at a drag race. So it's like, try to do as much different stuff, but a lot of it's put on hold now because I can't travel as easily. So I'm about to go to Alabama though, and go with Gerald Swindle. Was like talking smack to me because I posted a video of doing box jumps up on my tailgate. And he's like, that's like a silver medal truck, Louie. And then he goes to his other truck that's all jacked up. He's like, this is the gold medal truck. We got to get you doing this. If you want the gold, you got to. I'm like, all right, so you're saying I can come to Alabama then? So
yeah,
I'm gonna
right.
come to Alabama and go fishing with you, just so I can box jump the back of your jacked up Tundra.
Dude, that's dope that they allow you to kind of go have experiences. And is it like, so say you go pitch I'm gonna go fishing with this dude, he's a bass fisherman, whatever, boom. You go down there, are you trying to like get content throughout the trip, or just express like, yo, I got to do this dope thing and it was powered by Toyota, and like that's kind of their bare minimum for what you're kind of like trying to sell, I guess?
My idea is like, yo, I want to do this. And then they say, okay. And then there's like, oh, so there's this fishing competition that Gerald's competing in. You should come and hang out and like watch, and we'll film some stuff. But like originally, that's how it started. I did this fishing show. Oh, crap.
We lost you.
No, somebody was calling me. Are we back?
Yep. Ignore.
Yeah,
Ignore.
Yeah, so they're like, yo, we're doing this fishing competition. So I did this YouTube fishing competition that's out right now. It was like 3 or 4 episodes. It was with Humminbird and Minn Kota, which are like kind of technology for fishing boats. Like I'm not much of a fisherman, but it was like the MTV The Challenge and fishing together.
Right.
And that's how it kind of started. So that was like, I got brought onto a trip and we did this or that. But Gerald didn't end up coming. They had the guy KBD, who's like one of the best bass fishermen ever. He's on Toyota as well. So he was there, but he was like kind of like a guest star on there. But that's kind of how they knew that I wanted to go fishing and do that. But that was like a crazy. So that's on YouTube right now.
How do people find that? Yeah,
the One Boat Challenge. So it's good times. I suck at fishing, but
yeah, I'm not that good either, man. What were some of the
one time out there, they said, have you fished? Yeah, I've fished before. What would you say? I'm an amateur. Like I've been fishing. They put me, I'm with like this YouTube fisherman kid, a guy that's a guide for like this kind of bass in Connecticut. Then there's like a guy and a girl that are both salmon guides. And then this person I'm teamed up with, this dude, Willie, who's like ex-NFL player, lives in South Florida, has like 4 different fishing boats for like saltwater, freshwater. Then you're with like these 2 other guys that are deep sea fishermen. And then there's me. I'm like, I'm so like, well, I said I'm a beginner. Like, yeah, I'm a beginner, but like I'm like real beginner.
Yeah, right. You're like, I could put the worm on the fucking hook and cast it. I think.
But I had like 4 rods. I had like any tackle I wanted.
Dude, I want to watch this shit. This is like the cool shit that I think people find the niche on YouTube, where it's like fishing is dope, right? People like I love going fishing when I was a kid. Growing up, I would fish. And then to find a channel where you could literally follow someone around who's able to do it all the time, and I don't have time to go fishing all the time, but I can kind of live vicariously through them. Like I found this channel of this dude that flies powered parachutes, like the engines and all he does is he hooks a GoPro to his foot, and I wish I could think of his name right now. Tucker, look up Tucker flew to McDonald's powered parachute. That was like one video I found. But he straps the GoPro to his foot, then one to his head so he can show you his point of view, and then he can film himself, and then he'd have a headset where he just records and basically does a goddamn podcast while he's flying, and that's his YouTube video. And he's like, all right, boys, let's send it. And he just like runs, and then he's like, and he flies. And I'm like, dog, I will never do that shit. Fuck that. I'm afraid of that. But this is cool as hell to watch you do it and tell me about it, and I can like learn about it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And this is like, dude, I'm on a fish. First off, like I'm the same. Like I put a worm on, maybe got a bobber, maybe don't have a bobber, whatever. But like that kind of fish. This is like, dude, the Humminbird and like has like 360 sonar. You can see like how deep the water is. You can see fish on the little screen. And like, I couldn't see the fish. I could just look at the depth and see if there's like, they call it structure, like trees and stuff growing out. But then it's like these guys, and then they have like these Minn Kota, like these talons that can like shoot down, and they're like spikes. So you don't have to like throw an anchor, or you don't have to like, you get like the most pimped out rides ever. And we're in Mexico, and it's like we're at this guy's fishing lodge, and it's like known for like anybody goes there really, and they like break their personal record for like bass fish. And like we're staying at this place, and it's like full on nice. We're actually like 30 miles from like Sinaloa cartel headquarters. It was right after like those fundamentalist people got shot up on the side of the road. So it's like kind of like, oh, where am I going? But like there's no lock on the door, so you're like, their call time's 5:30. Okay, cool. Wake me up at 5:30. They like knock on your door. open the door, turn the lights on. Mr. Louie, Mr. Willie, time to get up. Hand you like a hot cup of coffee. You're like, boom.
Damn.
Okay, it's called the Anglers Inn. It's like so pimp. And then it's like good food. You like, they have like breakfast already prepared. You just get in, then you're like, lunch, you come in, then you go out again. They have all the guides. It's just like bougie fishing, but you're like in the middle of Mexico somewhere. I don't even know where I was. And you just fish all day, and they're like eating lunch. You're like, man, I really want some nachos. Okay, we'll go make you some nachos. Boom, what do you want on it? Boom, 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 boom. Throw it all in, go to bed. And that
What a fucking life.
It was sick. But it was like,
Yeah.
I want to go back. This guy's got one. He's got 2 in Mexico. One's for the big bass, which is where we were at. Then there's one like 2 hours away, which is like, you catch like 100 bass there. You just catch fish. And then he's got one in the Amazon, and then I think he's opening one up in Idaho. But like, I'm like, damn, I'm gonna take my pops there. It's sick.
That's crazy. What a shit. Damn, that's fucking nuts. I want to get into. Now I want to go fishing, bro.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go to Mexico, bro.
I'm down. It's like, I was telling all these people, I'm like, I'm going to Mazatlan. Like, oh, sick, whatever. I'm like looking up, like, stay in the Golden Circle or whatever it's called. It's good. It's fun. Great beaches. I land there, and I'm like, all right, cool. Like, what's up? Like, how far away is it? How long is this drive? Like 2 hours. I'm like, 2 hours? We're not even in Mazatlan. I just like flew there, and then we had to drive 2 hours to get to where we're going.
I love that you just are flying by like the seam of your pants, bro. Like, that's so crazy that your life really is that. Like, you just tripping on different experiences and just going and trying things out of, like, you just test shit, which is so dope. That's so cool that you've curated that type of, I guess,
I want to do
career.
it more. My thing would be now is like, I want to be able to create my own stuff. Like, I want to do this. Perfect. I'm going to go shoot it and film it. Like, I look at like, some of those YouTubers who've done such a great job. It's like they get paid to just go to cool places and shoot stuff. And it's like, but they created it all. Like, okay, I go to cool places. I got to get better at documenting it and telling the story.
Facts.
And all that. So I'm working on that. My girlfriend Haley, she just got into YouTubing, but she's doing a lot of golf stuff. So I've like learned some stuff through her, just from watching her learning curve on how to do it all. And it's just so interesting. Like you said, there's so many like niches, like her stuff, she'll do just strictly golf stuff. But then within the golf world, then you have people that are just trick shots. And then they have people that do this and people that do.
Right.
So she's kind of like, cause she has such a big Instagram. So her kind of trying to figure out what does well on YouTube for her and her followers, and watching that grow. And then obviously Toby Miller, who we've talked about a bunch.
Yeah, love the kid.
Watching his YouTube kind of grow and how he's changed it and kind of found his lane on what he's doing. It's really sick stuff, but it's fun. Kill that. It's fun to see. I just need to get a little, I'm just so bad at documenting stuff because it's like, I don't think about it. I'm not like, oh, this is going to be a sick video to shoot here. Whereas
you gotta change the mentality, bro.
That's all you see.
Yeah, you got to change the mentality. Just know, like, I'm going to wherever to go bass fishing in the most random place in Mexico. I need to film all this shit and then talk to the camera. That's all. That's the fix. If you can film it all and then just turn the camera on you and be like, dude, we just caught this fucking bass. This is crazy. This ship does this shit, blah, 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 blah. All the stuff you just told me. You're telling me all this shit and I want to see it. So just show me.
That's the thing, though. Like, I can public speak. I can do anything. I can do any interview. I can interview people. I can do all that. My weakest thing is selfie videos. I hate selfie video. I don't know if it's like seeing myself or what, but you put a camera on me, like we're talking right now, I'm looking at you. I'm not looking at myself, right? I'm looking at you. I talk for days. If you told me to like set up the camera and like do a whole thing about myself and I'm looking at I suck at selfie videos.
I'm gonna tell you right now how you fix this shit, okay? You take your phone. Instead of holding it in selfie mode, flip the bitch so you don't see yourself. Just know that you're in the shot. Talk all day. Look at that lens. Blah, 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 blah. And then you're done. And then now you have a video. Like, don't overthink it. Because no one's going to care about that shit except for you. And that's how you're going to win in that. Because you do have access to the illest shit. And that's what YouTube channels are. People that get access to cool shit and take you through it and blah, blah, blah. Or you just go a step farther and just get someone that's going to rock with you for like, you know what I mean? Like move them into your house or some shit and let them have rent for free and just rock with the camera for a year and see how long it lasts.
See, I'm like, yo, let's go on a trip, Ben, and you can shoot it, and then I'll just be like the fill-in spot. Like Toby does that so much. Toby's so funny because he loves shooting photos and videos now. So it's like he just geeks out on all these camera stuff. And like my background right here, like the salt flats. Like we went to the salt flats, like right when this quarantine happened. And he's just so down to shoot anything because having a subject there to shoot is better than just shooting like a landscape.
Right.
And so I'm like, yo, Ben, let's go do this. This is what I'll be like, hey, Sam Calder, let's go shoot a video, bro. And I'll just be there and you film it.
I know how it is. But there's people out there that are ready to go right now that have nothing else going on that are just as creative. You know what I mean? Some people, I just got lucky that I got busy as fuck and have massive projects I get to do all the time. And then I'm trying to build this shit. But like, if I did not, I would be prioritized. I'm like, dog, me and Louie are going everywhere next year. We're going to go film all kinds of crazy shit, go all over the world, turn that, pitch it to whoever the fuck. Like, anyway, to wrap this up,
Wait, time out real quick. I gotta say one thing. It's been awesome to watch your growth, even the short time that we've known each other, just seeing how much you've grown, the projects you've done, and then also with the community that you've built. It's fun to go on there and just see people interacting with each other and like showing the projects they're working on or getting tips and people giving feedback. Like that's been, I enjoy seeing that because you see the kind of I love the process, right? Like someone's like, I'm shooting this, like, hey, what do you guys think? And then people giving different feedback because in the creative space, especially like the way you shoot something might be different than this person shoots something that's different than this person, or the way you might edit, it might, I didn't even think about using this effect or doing this. So I think it's cool that what you've done, but also now with the community and you've built that community and how everybody kind of works together and gets feedback. And I mean, there's definitely some people that will tell you exactly how it is. And I think that's what you need though. Like it's not all sugar coated there. It's like, yo, that's kind of whack, but you should try this.
Man, no, I appreciate it. I'm glad that it's like a helpful tool that people are finding valuable and are utilizing to like empower themselves. You know what I mean? Like that's the whole point of this podcast. That's the whole point of the community from the jump. So I'm glad real recognize real. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, end it with this. What's one piece of advice you could give someone that's at home right now who's, you know, stuck on the couch, living through quarantine, etc., that to just empower themselves, to better themselves? What's one piece of advice you could give to someone that needs to take advantage of the time we have?
Well, I'm in the process of still forcing myself to do it, so it's a lot easier said than done. But like, this is the time where I'm looking at it like, write your goals down, and then kind of, or whatever objective, and then try to set your plan of attack. So it might be something that you can't do right now. Like you can't go somewhere and do it, but you lay out the whole roadmap to it. And then, so when everything's kind of opens up and gets going, you're ready to attack. You're ready to hit the ground running. This is a great time to kind of get those goals written down, get those plans of attack, things that you want to do, things you need to do, and kind of start being ready to execute. Like I have a lot of ideas. I'm really bad at executing. So now this is a time where I can kind of set my plans and be like, okay, when this is ready to go, I'm there.
Right. Love that shit. All right, man. Stay safe. Appreciate you always. I'll talk to you soon.
Later, man.
That's it. That's the episode for today. I hope you guys enjoyed. This was episode number 6 of the Quarantine and Chill. That's fucking awesome. We're cruising along. Let us know what you think about these episodes. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts if you can. Share a screenshot of you listening to the episode with us on Instagram so we can repost that. We really appreciate you guys tuning in and sharing your feedback. It helps us keep curating this content and making sure that we're, you know, trying to fill some gaps with you guys back home while you're sitting there, you know, quarantining and chilling. All right, cool. That's it for today's episode. We will see you in a few days, you